Love Against All Odds. Chapter 1. The Beginning. In the heart of Mexico City, there was a bustling, chaotic rhythm that both terrified and exhilarated Amelia. A girl from Panama, she had always imagined herself traveling the world, but her life took a surprising turn when she landed in this sprawling metropolis. She was here to study architecture on a scholarship, her big chance. Mexico City was a city of dreams, but it was also where Amelia's destiny would entwine with love, danger, and heartbreak. Ana Sofia, on the other hand, had lived in Mexico her whole life. Born and raised in Puebla, a small city 2 hours from the capital, she had grown up in a strict traditional family. Her mother, deeply religious, and her father, a stern businessman, had always made it clear that any deviation from the norm would be met with swift and brutal punishment. So Ana Sofia did her best to fit in, to be the daughter they wanted her to be, until she met Amelia. They first crossed paths at a student art gallery in Mexico City. Amelia, a tall, dark-skinned girl with thick, curly hair and an easy smile, caught Ana Sofia's attention immediately. Her energy was magnetic, her laughter contagious. Ana Sofia tried to focus on the paintings, but she couldn't take her eyes off Amelia. Eventually, fate brought them together, and a simple conversation turned into hours of talking about their lives, their dreams, and their hidden desires. They began to see each other more, meeting at coffee shops, sneaking away for long walks through Chapultepec Park, and attending underground LGBTQ+ events. For the first time, Ana Sofia felt seen, understood, and most importantly, free. But they both knew their love was forbidden, not just by society but by their own families. Chapter 2. Secrets and Barriers. Ana Sofia's family had no idea about her relationship with Amelia. Her mother often hinted at a suitable match for her, mentioning a young man from a well-off family. Ana Sofia had always deflected these conversations, but now, they filled her with dread. Amelia's family back in Panama, while less strict, still didn't know about her sexuality either. She feared their disappointment and rejection. But it was Ana Sofia's family that presented the biggest obstacle. They were deeply embedded in traditional Mexican values, and homosexuality was not something they could ever accept. Ana Sofia knew if her parents found out, they'd disown her or worse, force her into a life she didn't want. One evening, after a particularly heated argument with her mother about marriage, Ana Sofia broke down in Amelia's arms. "I don't know how much longer I can keep this a secret," she whispered. "I'm suffocating." Amelia kissed her gently, wiping away her tears. "We'll figure it out together. You don't have to go through this alone." But it wasn't just family that threatened their love. Mexico City, while progressive in some ways, was also home to powerful criminal organizations. Amelia and Ana Sofia knew people, friends of friends, who had faced violence for being openly gay. And then there were the gangs. One night, at a party hosted by a lesbian couple, Laura and Carla, Amelia overheard something that would change everything. Laura, who had family ties to one of the city's gangs, mentioned that the gang was cracking down on LGBTQ+ spaces. They were extorting money from gay bars and threatening anyone who resisted. "They don't care who you are," Laura had said grimly. "If they find out you're involved with the community, you're a target." Chapter 3. The Danger Grows. As the weeks passed, Amelia and Ana Sofia's love grew deeper, but so did the danger around them. One night, as they were leaving a bar, a black SUV followed them down the narrow streets. Amelia noticed it first and pulled Ana Sofia into an alley. They hid in the shadows, their hearts racing as the car slowly passed by. "That's the second time this week," Amelia whispered, her voice shaking. Ana Sofia's stomach dropped. "Do you think they know?" "I don't know," Amelia replied, her eyes darting around for any sign of danger. "But we can't stay here. Not like this." The threats grew more real when one of their friends, a young gay man named Andres, was attacked outside a nightclub. He survived, but his injuries were severe. The message was clear: no one was safe. And then one evening, Anna Sophia's worst nightmare came true. Her mother had found a text message from Emilia on her phone. Furious, her parents confronted her. "You're ruining this family," her father bellowed. "Do you want to bring shame to us? This is not who you are." Anna Sophia, trembling with fear and rage, finally stood her ground. "This is who I am. And I love her." Her father's face twisted in anger, but before he could speak, her mother stepped forward, her voice cold and deadly. "You will never see that girl again. Do you understand?" Anna Sophia had no choice. She left that night, rushing to Emilia's apartment. Her heart was broken, but she knew she couldn't go back. Not to that life. Not ever. Chapter 4: The Escape. With the escalating gang threats and Anna Sophia now cut off from her family, it became clear to both of them they couldn't stay in Mexico City any longer. The gangs were tightening their grip, and their love had put them on a collision course with both Anna Sophia's family and dangerous criminals. One night, they packed what little they had and made a decision. They had to leave the country. They heard rumors of LGBTQ+ refugees finding safety in Canada, but to get there, they'd need to cross into the United States first. They planned to escape to a small city in northern Mexico, where Laura had connections to someone who could help them cross the border. The journey was treacherous. They moved under the cover of night, constantly looking over their shoulders. At every checkpoint, they held their breath, afraid of being caught. But the most dangerous part was yet to come. When they reached the small city near the border, they were met by the very gang they'd been trying to avoid. Laura's connection had been compromised. The gang leader, a ruthless man named Elias, demanded a high price for their freedom. When they couldn't pay, Elias had his men drag Anna Sophia away. "You think you can run from me?" he sneered at Emilia, holding her at gunpoint. But Emilia wasn't afraid. She stood tall, her love for Anna Sophia giving her strength she never knew she had. "We're not running from you," she spat. "We're running towards something better." In the end, it wasn't violence that saved them but the kindness of others. Laura, along with a network of gay and lesbian couples who had been quietly helping people like Emilia and Anna Sophia, orchestrated their escape. With their help, the two lovers were smuggled out of the city and across the border, leaving behind a life of fear and danger. Chapter 5: A New Beginning. Months later, Emilia and Anna Sophia found themselves in a small apartment in Toronto, Canada. It wasn't glamorous, and they didn't have much, but they had each other. And after everything they'd been through, that was more than enough. They spent their days rebuilding their lives, finding jobs, and making new friends in the vibrant LGBTQ+ community of Toronto. They stayed in touch with Laura and Carla, who had also managed to escape the grip of the gangs and were living in Mexico City under the radar. One evening, as the sun set and cast a warm glow across their small living room, Anna Sophia took Emilia's hand and smiled. "We made it," she whispered. Emilia kissed her softly. "We did. And no one can take this away from us." In the end, love had won. Against all the odds, against the hate and the danger, Emilia and Anna Sophia had found a way to be together, and that was the greatest victory of all. Love against all odds, reflections and resilience. Chapter 6: Shadows of the Past. As Emilia and Anna Sophia settled into their new lives in Toronto, the vibrant colors of their surroundings contrasted starkly with the dark memories they had fled. Each evening they would sit together, often reminiscing about their tumultuous journey, the jealousy, the fighting, the violence that had once threatened to tear them apart. One night, while they were enjoying a quiet dinner, the memories came flooding back, igniting a conversation filled with both nostalgia and fear. "Do you remember that night at the underground club?" Anna Sophia asked, her voice tinged with laughter and disbelief. Emilia nodded, her eyes shining with a mix of joy and regret. "How could I forget? You were ready to punch that guy who wouldn't stop flirting with me." The memory brought a smile to Anna Sophia's face, but then it turned somber. "I was so jealous. I was terrified of losing you, especially with everything going on around us." "Jealousy can twist your mind," Emilia said softly, reaching for Anna Sophia's hand. "But it also fueled our fight to stay together. I remember feeling that burning rage when those guys started causing trouble." Anna Sophia shivered as she recalled the night the gang had crashed the club. The atmosphere had shifted abruptly, the vibrant music drowned out by a tension that hung heavy in the air. Chapter 7: The Club Incident. They had been dancing, lost in each other, when a group of men, clearly drunk and aggressive, began to harass them. One of the men, a cocky tattooed figure named Miguel, had zeroed in on Emilia, his gaze predatory. "Why don't you come dance with a real man?" he had taunted, stepping between Emilia and Anna Sophia. Anna Sophia felt her heart pound in her chest. "Leave her alone," she shouted, trying to push him aside. Miguel laughed, shoving Anna Sophia back. "What are you gonna do about it, princess? You think you can scare me?" The commotion drew the attention of other patrons, and soon, the situation escalated. A scuffle broke out, and Anna Sophia found herself face to face with Miguel, who pushed her to the ground. Emilia's instincts kicked in. She grabbed a nearby glass bottle and swung it at Miguel, hitting him squarely on the head. The shattering glass sent shards flying, and Miguel staggered back, blood streaming down his face. But the fight had only begun. Gunshots rang out suddenly, piercing the chaotic atmosphere like lightning. A rival gang had entered, their presence suffocating. Emilia and Anna Sophia ducked for cover behind a bar, their hearts racing. "Stay down," Emilia shouted, her voice barely audible over the chaos. Chapter 8: The Escape. The sound of gunfire echoed as patrons screamed and scrambled for safety. Emilia could see Miguel recovering, and in that moment, she realized they were in grave danger. "We have to get out of here," she yelled, grabbing Anna Sophia's hand. With the bar patrons scattering like leaves in a storm, they dashed for the emergency exit, adrenaline surging through their veins. But just as they reached the door, Anna Sophia stumbled, twisting her ankle. "Come on," Emilia cried, her heart pounding as she pulled Anna Sophia to her feet. I can't run." Anna Sophia gasped, her face pale with fear. Before they could react, they heard Miguel's voice calling out to his crew, "Find them. Don't let them escape." In that moment, a figure stepped in front of them, Laura. "This way," she shouted, guiding them toward a back exit. The three of them ran through the dimly lit corridors, with gunfire ringing behind them. They burst out onto the street, but the night was not yet over. They were confronted by a gang member blocking their path, a wicked grin on his face. "Thought you could run?" he sneered, brandishing a gun. Without thinking, Emilia pushed Anna Sophia behind her. "Get down," she shouted, and just as the gang member raised his weapon, a loud crash echoed nearby. A car, tires screeching, slammed into the gang member, sending him sprawling to the ground. It was their friend Andres, who had arrived in the nick of time, his face filled with determination. "Get in," he shouted, gesturing to the open passenger door. Chapter 9: Aftermath and Confrontation. They piled into the car, and Andres floored it, speeding away from the chaos. Anna Sophia's heart raced as she looked back at the club, flames beginning to flicker from the entrance where the gang had set their sights on retaliation. Once they reached a safe distance, they pulled over in a secluded alley. Breathless, they all stared at each other, shock settling in. What the hell just happened? Laura gasped, her hands shaking. "We have to leave the city," Emilia said, her voice resolute. "This is only going to get worse." They won't stop until they find us. Anna Sophia nodded, her mind racing. And my parents, if they find out? Andres frowned, his expression serious. You can't go back. They'll use your love against you. But we can't just abandon them, Anna Sophia insisted, tears brimming in her eyes. They're my family. Your life is more important, Emilia said firmly, pulling Anna Sophia close. We can't let them control us any longer. The fear and tension were palpable as they debated their next steps. Finally, they decided to escape to a small town just outside the city where Laura had family. It was a refuge, a place where they could regroup and decide their next move. Chapter 10: The Final Confrontation. Days later, in the small town of Tepoztlan, they thought they were safe. The air was filled with the scent of fresh earth and blooming flowers, a stark contrast to the chaos of the city. But they soon learned that danger had followed them. One evening, as they were walking through the quiet streets, Anna Sophia spotted a familiar car parked nearby. Her heart dropped. It was her parents' vehicle. Emilia, look, she whispered urgently. It's my parents. What are they doing here? Emilia asked, her heart racing. Anna Sophia's parents emerged from the car, visibly agitated. We have to go, she said, panic rising in her chest. But before they could escape, her mother's voice rang out, cutting through the air.
Anna Sophia.
We know you're here. Emilia grabbed Anna Sophia's hand. We have to face them. We can't keep running. As they approached, Anna Sophia's parents looked furious. You've brought shame upon this family, her father yelled, his voice booming in the night. Shame? Anna Sophia shot back, anger boiling over. I'm not ashamed of who I love. But then from the shadows, a figure emerged, Elias, the gang leader they had crossed paths with before. Looks like we found our little runaways, he sneered, eyeing Emilia and Anna Sophia with malicious intent. Stay away from us. Emilia shouted, stepping protectively in front of Anna Sophia.
Elias chuckled darkly.
You think you can just leave? You owe me, and I always collect. Suddenly, gunfire erupted from Elias's crew, bullets ricocheting off the walls. Laura and Andres had been watching from a distance, and they sprang into action, pulling Anna Sophia and Emilia down to the ground. Get to the car. Andres shouted as he and Laura returned fire, trying to create a diversion. Emilia and Anna Sophia scrambled to their feet, adrenaline surging through them. This way. Emilia urged, leading Anna Sophia toward the alley. But they were cornered. Elias and his gang closed in, and desperation clawed at them. Your families will never accept you. Elias shouted, reveling in their fear. Maybe not, Anna Sophia shot back, her heart racing, but I will never stop fighting for my love. With newfound determination, they fought back. Emilia grabbed a discarded metal pipe from the ground, swinging it fiercely at the nearest gang member, while Anna Sophia grabbed a rock and threw it at Elias. Just as the tide of the fight turned in their favor, a blaring siren pierced the night. The police had arrived. In a panic, Elias ordered his men to scatter, but not before a brief moment of eye contact between him and Emilia. We'll finish this later, he hissed before vanishing into the shadows. Chapter 11: Liberation. In the aftermath, Emilia, Anna Sophia, Laura, and Andres were taken to the station for questioning. The police had finally begun to take LGBTQ+ violence seriously, and with the gang's notoriety, they were determined to crack down on their activities. Hours later, after providing their statements, they were finally released. Exhausted but relieved, they found a small cafe to gather, where they could catch their breath. We did it, Laura said, her voice trembling with emotion. We fought back and survived. Anna Sophia squeezed Emilia's hand, tears streaming down her face. "I couldn't have done it without you." "We're family now," Emilia replied, her voice steady. "No matter what happens, we face it together." As they looked at each other, a bond forged. Love against all odds, trials and tribulations. Chapter 12, New Connections. As Emilia and Anna Sophia settled into their new life in Tepoztlán, they discovered a vibrant LGBTQ+ community that welcomed them with open arms. Local events showcased talent, creativity, and strength within the community, and they found solace in the camaraderie of others who had faced similar struggles. At a local café, they met Marisol and Javier, a lively couple who had also fled their families. Marisol was an outspoken activist, while Javier was an artist, known for his stunning murals that depicted love in all its forms. They instantly clicked, sharing stories of their respective journeys and the pain of leaving behind family expectations. "I remember the day I came out to my parents," Marisol said, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "My mother threw a shoe at me. It was a classic Latino mother move." "Mine didn't take it much better," Ana Sofia chimed in, laughter mingling with sadness. "She thought I was going through a phase." As friendships deepened, Emilia and Ana Sofia found comfort and strength in their newfound family. But their happiness was soon threatened. Chapter 13, The Rising Tension. The local LGBTQ+ community was not without its challenges. A gang of LGBTQ+ individuals, known for their involvement in illicit activities and fueled by jealousy and resentment, began to target newcomers like Emilia and Ana Sofia. Led by a fierce woman named Veronica, this gang had carved out a space for themselves, making their living through illegal enterprises that pitted them against rival gangs. Veronica, feeling threatened by the close-knit bond forming within the group, saw Emilia and Ana Sofia as competition. "They think they can come in and take what's ours?" she scoffed, glaring at Marisol and Javier as they mingled with the others at a community event. "Not on my watch." The tension escalated quickly. One evening, at a small art exhibition featuring Javier's work, the gang ambushed them. Veronica and her crew stormed in, her eyes blazing with fury. "You think you can just show off here? You don't belong in our space," she shouted, shoving Javier. "Get out!" Marisol yelled, standing protectively in front of him. "This is our community too." But Veronica wasn't intimidated. "You're just a bunch of wannabes. You think your pretty art and cute love stories matter? You're in way over your heads." A fight broke out, and Emilia and Ana Sofia instinctively joined the fray, their hearts pounding. The chaos spilled into the street, and in the midst of the chaos, gunshots rang out, not from the rival gangs but from Veronica's crew, who had turned to violence to assert their dominance. Chapter 14, Almost Losing Each Other. As bullets flew and the crowd scattered, Emilia and Ana Sofia found themselves separated from their friends in the chaos. Panic surged through them. "Emilia!" Ana Sofia shouted, her voice barely audible over the noise. "Where are you?" "I'm here." Emilia cried, but her words were swallowed by the chaos. In the confusion, Emilia spotted Veronica confronting Ana Sofia, a gun glinting in her hand. "You think you can just walk in and claim this space?" Veronica sneered, stepping closer. "Stop!" Emilia shouted, racing toward them, but she was too late. A shot rang out, and Ana Sofia fell to the ground, clutching her side. "No!" Emilia screamed, her heart shattering as she knelt beside Ana Sofia, tears streaming down her face. "Stay with me, please." Ana Sofia looked up, pain etched on her features. "Emilia, Before she could finish, the sirens wailed in the distance. Veronica, realizing the police were closing in, backed away, her expression a mix of rage and fear. "This isn't over," she spat before fleeing with her crew. Chapter 15: The Hospital. At the hospital, Emilia sat beside Anna Sophia, holding her hand tightly, praying for her recovery. Days passed, and Anna Sophia remained unconscious, her body battered but fighting for life. Marisol and Javier visited regularly, offering their support. "She's strong," Marisol assured Emilia, who could barely eat or sleep. "She'll pull through." But the weight of fear and uncertainty threatened to crush Emilia. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw Anna Sophia in pain, her spirit flickering like a candle in the wind. Then one evening, when Emilia was about to leave the hospital for the night, Anna Sophia's fingers twitched. Emilia rushed back, her heart leaping.
Anna Sophia?
"Can you hear me?" Anna Sophia's eyes fluttered open, and she looked around, confusion etched on her face. "Emilia? What happened?" "You were shot," Emilia said, tears streaming down her cheeks. "But you're safe now. I'm here." I thought I lost you," Anna Sophia whispered, her voice weak but filled with love. "You'll never lose me," Emilia promised, squeezing her hand tightly. "We'll face this together, no matter what." Chapter 16: Uniting the Community. As Anna Sophia recovered, the bond between the friends deepened. With Marisol and Javier's encouragement, Emilia decided to organize a community meeting to unite everyone against the threats they faced. "Together, we can stand up to Veronica and her gang," Emilia said, her voice resolute. "We can't let fear control our lives." On the night of the meeting, the café overflowed with community members, all eager to support one another. Marisol spoke passionately about the importance of solidarity, while Javier shared his art as a symbol of hope and resilience. But as they spoke, a figure loomed in the shadows, Veronica, who had come to crash the party. "This is a waste of time," she sneered, stepping forward. "You think you can take this back? You're just a bunch of weaklings." Emilia stood her ground. "We are stronger together, Veronica. You don't scare us." The tension was palpable, and the air crackled with anticipation. Suddenly, a voice from the back shouted, "We won't back down. We stand united." Inspired, more voices joined in, and soon the crowd erupted into chants of support. They would not be silenced. Seeing the power of unity, Veronica's expression shifted from anger to uncertainty. "You think this will last? I'll always be watching," she warned before retreating into the night. Chapter 17: Facing Family Again. With the community's support, Emilia and Anna Sophia decided it was time to confront their families once and for all. They knew that the road ahead would be fraught with challenges, but they were ready to fight for their love. They arranged a meeting with Anna Sophia's parents at a local park, surrounded by familiar faces. Emilia's heart raced as they approached, anxiety swirling in her stomach.
Anna Sophia.
"What are you doing here?" her mother exclaimed, eyes wide with disbelief. "I'm here to talk, Mom," Anna Sophia said firmly. "You need to understand who I am and who I love." As tensions rose, Emilia took a deep breath. "We've fought for our love, and we're not backing down. You can either accept us or lose us." Anna Sophia's parents exchanged glances, their expressions wavering between anger and concern. "You've chosen this life?" her father demanded, voice rising. "This life is about love, and it's not a choice," Anna Sophia replied, tears glistening in her eyes. "I can't change who I am, and I won't hide anymore." But just as the atmosphere began to shift, the unmistakable sound of a motorcycle revving pierced the air. A gang of LGBTQ+ members, led by Veronica, rolled in, their intentions clear. "Thought you could have your little family reunion without us?" Veronica taunted, her gang flanking her. The confrontation escalated quickly, and chaos erupted as the two factions clashed in the park. Emilia and Anna Sophia found themselves in the middle, desperate to protect their friends and families. "Get back!" Emilia shouted, pulling Anna Sophia to safety as the fight broke out. Chapter 18: Standing Tall. Despite the chaos, the families and community began to stand together, united against the gang. Marisol and Javier fought alongside them, their voices rallying everyone to push back against the violence. As the fight raged, Emilia spotted a group of people from the community stepping up to confront Veronica's gang. "We won't let you hurt us anymore," one woman shouted, her fists clenched. Veronica's gang began to falter under the united front. Finally, with one last push, the community forced them to retreat. Chapter 19: Rebuilding Together. In the aftermath of the confrontation, Anna Sophia's parents found themselves grappling with their feelings. The fight had shown them the strength of love in its many forms, and they realized they had to choose acceptance over fear. Days later, they reached out to Anna Sophia, asking to meet again, this time with open hearts. As they sat together in the park, her mother took a deep breath. "I was wrong to reject you. We want to understand. We want to be a part of your life." Tears of relief filled Anna Sophia's eyes. "Thank you. It means the world to me." With the community by their side, Emilia and Anna Sophia felt empowered. They began to organize workshops and art events, creating a safe space for LGBTQ+. Chapter 20: New Horizons. After months of fighting for acceptance and battling the remnants of their past, Emilia and Anna Sophia made a bold decision. With their families slowly coming around and the local community flourishing, they realized they needed a fresh start, a chance to leave behind the shadows that had haunted them for too long. Together, they planned a trip to Costa Rica, a place known for its breathtaking beaches, lush rainforests, and a vibrant LGBTQ+ community that celebrated love and diversity. It felt like the perfect escape, a place to heal and redefine their lives. Chapter 21: Arrival in Paradise. When they arrived in Costa Rica, the warmth of the sun felt like a comforting embrace. The air was filled with the scent of tropical flowers, and the rhythmic sound of waves crashing against the shore lulled them into a state of serenity. As they settled into a small beachside bungalow, Emilia and Anna Sophia felt an overwhelming sense of relief wash over them. No longer burdened by the violence and chaos of their past, they spent their days exploring the vibrant culture, immersing themselves in the local community, and enjoying the beauty of their surroundings. They visited bustling markets, indulged in delicious local cuisine, and made friends with other LGBTQ+ couples who shared their stories and experiences. With each passing day, the weight of their past began to lift, replaced by the joy of new beginnings. Chapter 22: Embracing Their New Life. One evening, as they walked hand in hand along the beach, the sun setting in a blaze of orange and pink, Anna Sophia turned to Emilia. "Can you believe how far we've come?" she asked, a smile lighting up her face. Emilia looked out at the horizon, the waves reflecting the colors of the sky. "It feels surreal. It's like we've stepped into a different world." Anna Sophia laughed softly. "A world where we can just be ourselves." Together, they took a moment to reflect on their journey. They had faced fear, jealousy, and violence, yet they had emerged stronger than ever. The memories of their struggles faded into the background, no longer a burden but rather a testament to their resilience. Chapter 23: Letting Go. As they continued their walk, Anna Sophia paused and picked up a smooth stone from the beach. "Let's make a promise," she said, her eyes sparkling with determination. "Let's let go of everything that holds us back, the fear, the pain, the anger. This is our new beginning." Emilia nodded, taking a stone of her own. "I love that idea." They each inscribed their initials on the stones, symbolizing their commitment to move forward. With a shared sense of purpose, they walked to the water's edge and tossed their stones into the sea, watching as the waves swallowed them whole. In that moment, they felt lighter, as if the ocean had washed away their past. Chapter 24: Building a Future. Over the next few months, Emilia and Anna Sophia thrived in their new environment. They found jobs in a local art gallery and a cafe, blending their passions for creativity and community service. They organized events to support LGBTQ+ artists, creating a safe space for self-expression and empowerment. As their lives flourished, they embraced the joy of love in its purest form. They traveled around Costa Rica, exploring waterfalls, hiking volcanoes, and basking in the sun on pristine beaches. Each adventure solidified their bond and helped them realize how far they had come. Chapter 25: A Bright Tomorrow. 1 year later, on the same beach where they had made their promise, Emilia and Anna Sophia celebrated their love with a small gathering of friends they had met in Costa Rica. They laughed, danced, and shared stories under the stars, their hearts full of gratitude and joy. As they stood together, watching the waves lap at the shore, Emilia turned to Anna Sophia, her eyes shining with love. "I never thought I could find this kind of peace." Anna Sophia smiled, leaning her head on Emilia's shoulder. "Neither did I. We've created a beautiful life together." With the gentle breeze carrying the sound of laughter and waves, they knew they had found their place in the world. No longer haunted by their past, they faced the future with courage and love. Together, they had not only escaped their past but had also embraced a new chapter filled with hope, joy, and endless possibilities. With the sun setting over the horizon, they knew they were exactly where they were meant to be, free, united, and forever looking forward. Epilogue: A Life of Love. In the years that followed, Emilia and Anna Sophia continued to thrive, both personally and professionally. They became advocates for LGBTQ+ rights, using their experiences to inspire others and create positive change within their community. They traveled back to Mexico occasionally, reconnecting with their families, who had slowly accepted their love. Their story was one of resilience, courage, and love that transcended all barriers. Emilia and Anna Sophia had not only found solace in each other, but had also built a life that was a testament to their unwavering spirit. As they sat together on their porch, overlooking the beautiful landscape, they held hands, knowing that together, they could face anything the world threw at them. They had made it, hand in hand, and there was no turning back.